All right. Another episode 2 of season 2. Sports Talk with Cam and
Yes,
D.
sir. Yes, sir.
We got some great stuff going on today. We got a legend in here
With a
today.
special guest.
We got a legend in here today.
Yeah.
We ain't even joking. We got a legend here today. D, you want to do the honors?
Yeah. So today we got a special guest. We got my man Donovan Campbell here. If you don't know who he is, this is Fox Sport analyst. Big sports mind. Got him here today. I ran into him last week. Hooked up. Now we got him. We got him here. Got him here. So we just want to thank you for giving us your time. Just come on. Join in on the fun. So.
No, my pleasure. Definitely. Great running to you in that main event in Atlanta while I was in town for a tournament with my son, a baseball tournament, and just by chance, just talking to you. And next thing I know, now I'm on the show. So that's pretty cool.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
I was not dead, so you opened your mouth, and now look, we bought a relationship.
See, that's awesome, man. That's crazy how, one opportunity can just come right there, just talking to somebody, like I said, you never know. That's why I always say just sometimes just saying hello, how you doing can go a long way. You never know. So,
yeah. And the funny thing, I ran into him twice because we actually went to main event twice. And then I was teasing him like days off. And then lo and behold, we sparked up a conversation. And now look, my man, we sharing screens, we crossing borders, Florida, Georgia line.
Hey man, that's a good line. That's a good line to cross, ain't it?
Yeah, that's that good line. Yeah. So the way how we do on this show, we just it's multiple topics. Every episode can be one topic. It can be or multiple. We just talk about what's hot in the sports world right now. So we
got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
before we even get even started with the sports talk, man, I can't even go without starting without saying thank you for your service. I did a little research on you.
Appreciate you.
Found out you're an Army veteran, and I'm an Army veteran myself. So I love seeing my fellow soldiers doing good things out here after serving this beautiful country that we love. So that's first and foremost, man. Thank you for your service, man.
Salute to you as well.
Shoot. All right, D, let's go. Let's get this started, man. Let's go.
All right. So today's topic, we're gonna talk about the All-Star game for baseball. That's pretty hot right now because it's on its way up. As you see, ballots still out there. Pick suggestions out there. So we just wanted your input on the All-Star game. About how you feel like this one would be. Like your favorite past All-Star game. Your ballot, if you voted already, what your ballot looks like. So.
Well, I'm a big baseball guy. So we got a couple guys right now. I know the Braves are killing it right now, but we got a couple guys in the Marlins that I'm definitely want to see on the team for sure. Luis Arraez, who's leading the MLB in batting average right now. He's still flirting with the 400. We haven't seen that since Ted Williams way back when, before we were all born. So I'd love to see that happen. Back the way he's been doing lately, just tearing it up. It's disheartening. My boy Jazz Chisholm probably won't be in the All-Star game. Last year, he was voted as a starter, then he was hurt, and then he ended up not playing in the rest of the season. But since he's been back, he's been tearing it up. Atlanta Braves, who got a plethora of guys going to the Midsummer Classic.
Yeah, that's a star-studded group of guys, man. Like I said, they're a good team, man. I can't see how they just keep their team together, man. And it's like these guys aren't old guys. These are young guys, and they know what they have, and they're not even letting them flirt with free agency. Like as soon as Michael Harris came onto the scene, they instantly gave him a lot of money. So they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, the general manager in Atlanta killing it right now. I mean, from the Ronald Acuñas to the to the Olsen trade, instead of going, as soon as they lost Freeman. They went out and got Olsen. So the general manager's doing great, and their pitching staff, I think, is the key to their success. You know, you got Mr. Thigh Master himself, Strider, you know, leading the major leagues in strikeouts and whatnot. And or what do y'all call him down there? Quadzilla? Because the man is just jacked. And I'm all-star team as well. So you guys just have a solid team all around, but I think it starts with their pitching and then just the fact that the building blocks and Ronald Acuna, who most likely will win the NL MVP if they were giving it out today. So you guys are in great shape for sure. So the Marlins are still chasing you guys in that NL East. So hopefully the Marlins can catch you guys at some point, but I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Oh yeah. The Marlins are a good team, man. You mentioned Luis Ariz chasing that 400. That's my biggest thing as far as I'm watching baseball, man. I want to see him get it. We've seen like I said, we went over this in our last episode. And we just like, man, it's a couple people that have been close. Rod Carew, he chased it for a while. George Brett chased it for a while. And like my favorite guy is Tony Gwynn. You know, he got cheated out of it with the strike and everything. So I thought he probably had the best chance to get it because people don't understand how close he was. He was batting 400 when the strike, you know, stopped baseball. So you know, so I think he would have got it. But I really want to see somebody do it because you know, we weren't alive to see Ted Williams do his thing. But you know, hey, that's a crazy stat, man. Just to be batting 400 all year, like he's doing his thing, and they winning too. So it's not like he's just doing it by himself. So
13 games over 500. I mean, I couldn't say the last time a Marlins team has been playing this well, this deep into the season. So kudos to the Marlins.
most definitely. So what's
my All-Star ballot.
Go ahead, bro.
My All-Star ballot right now, for third base, I have Nolan Arenado. You know, I know Cardinals, you know, we're not, you know, our
100%.
best right now. Yeah, we're not 100% right now. Some GM, issues, but still, we have a few players we could send to the All-Star game. And I like his defense because, he could be like deep in the grass, still get you at first base. Offensively, he's still good. So that's, my hot pick right now to send to the All-Star game.
Okay. Yeah. I like him, man. I like Arenado, man. He's a active Hall of Famer in my eyes, man. Like he commands the respect of the locker room. So if we get on the run, I think he'll have a lot to do with it. But as far as All-Star concerned, like he's a slam dunk, man. Like you can't pick somebody that just knows how to play the position, man, and takes it serious. You know what I'm saying? Not just, like people don't really take defense as serious because he's all about batting, hitting, you know what I'm saying? But he takes it serious at that hot corner. And to have somebody doing both sides of the plate, I like that a lot. So but I like the marriage he has with Goldsmith over there. Like that's a perfect marriage. You know what I'm saying? At third and first baseman, if they can create magic, you're gonna get a lot of outs, man, just because, So I like their marriage, man. So yeah. But if I had to pick somebody that's that I just want to see, is I had to go with Acuna, man. Last year he had kind of a knee injury that kind of zapped some of his play. But I want to see him play on that big stage, man. Again, and really kind of say, hey, this is my award this year. Like I'm back. Like it was fun winning the championship. I didn't really get to play that much because I was hurt. And then last season I kind of had to pick it up a little bit. But he's back, and I want to see him really shine. Like he's one of the league's brightest stars, so I want to see him go.
Yeah, and right now he's leading All-Star vote in the National League, him and Shohei Ohtani. So that just goes to show you that people respect his game and what he's doing and his contribution to baseball, which is a far cry from when he first got in the league. And a lot of baseball purists didn't like the fact the way how he was wearing his hat and whatnot, but now they've embraced him. And, I think he's made the best of every opportunity that Atlanta's given him. So he deserves all the accolades he's currently getting.
Okay, understandable. Yeah.
Must have.
Yeah, he changed the game, man. I like the way these young players are playing, man. we got a lot of young players coming up here ready to ball, man. And I like the youth movement, you know. A lot of players kind of get lost in that minor league system, you know, and they don't have a chance to really come up like they want to. But I like how these franchises now are understanding that, hey, these young players can turn your team around. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting the big name free agents, let's just build within and bring up our young guys, man. Because if we have a couple good pieces and then we have a couple great pieces, man, we got a good team, man. All we gotta do is just ball. And I like that idea, man. Kind of going away. Like obviously you need your big name free agents. You gotta make a splash at some point, right? But doing that in moderation, I think definitely helps because you don't want to be sitting, year 13 of a contract that you signed and the guy's still not producing. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I
Yeah,
love what the Orioles are doing with their youth movement. I love it. Like I love it all because these young cats are really just balling, man. And it kind of sucks to say, but all that sucking that they was doing is panning off. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So yeah, most definitely, I like that a lot. So what's your current thought process on this on the pitch clock, man, on the rule changes in the offseason? Like how do you think that's affecting the game?
I love it because I'm a big baseball fan. So, it speeds the game up. So it makes going to a baseball game a lot more enjoyable, knowing that, if you take the family out there and kids' attention spans aren't 3.5, 4 hours, and now you can get a game in 2.5 hours, it makes it all much better for me and my family because I want my son to go through a full 9 inning game because my dream and my wife's dream is for him to be playing big leagues one day. So, I want him to experience and see it all that from now and get that grasp that love of the game even now. So I love the pitch clock. Yeah, I wish they did it sooner.
Okay, yeah, man, I agree. Games were definitely too long in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it almost for me it was so long that I would kind of lost interest in baseball because it would only be good during the postseason because that's when you actually watch a whole 9 inning game. Just because, you know. But now since the regular season is kind of, the games are a lot quicker, I agree. It's definitely making it more enjoyable and it's making these pitchers work a little bit faster too. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them controlling the flow, you know what I'm saying? The flow is just controlled just because, And like I said, I like the pitchers too, because the pitchers are actually kind of going with it, like they're making decisions, and they're actually I think people might not see it like I do in terms of like them learning their own pitch sequence. You know what I'm saying? Just actually being able to learn it and being able to execute your pitches, within that time frame. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be able to understand what pitches you can control over the course of the season, in that time frame. So I definitely like the pitching. What do you think, D? What do you like about that pitch clock?
Pitch clock. I like it because a lot of times you have the pitchers that like to just stand up there and kind of like whoodle the time and like they start the inning when they want to start the inning. So and I do like the fact that it does speed the game up because I have been to some games where it's been kind of like a long, prolonged, but also like we talked about yesterday, like we really don't see too many pitcher catcher connections anymore in baseball like we used to see. So I think that's one thing I'd like to see come back is that pitcher catcher connection. Because that also helps the game because if you have that pitcher catcher connection, the catcher if he sees the pitcher taking too long, he'd be like, hey, let's speed it up. But I mean, the time rule, I do like it. I see that some young pitchers don't like it, but I mean, like you don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be stuck in the game, stuck watching the game for like 4 hours. Like I like the fact that it does speed up the game.
Yeah, but here's like my pushback with that though. Um, you can have the pitcher catcher connection, right? But like me and Donovan was saying, the the young players, that's gonna take time. You can't really just rush
Mhm.
that connection. You know what I'm saying? Like you can bring in a veteran guy, right? But if you're a young guy, has more experience maybe on the offensive side, the team isn't really gonna judge that. They don't really care. They want to be able to put points and seats and people in those seats. So yeah, the pitch count
Right.
and the pitchers doing their thing, that connection is important. You know what I'm saying? Like for what we experienced in St. Louis with Yadier. Yadier has such a great control over not only the base paths, the pitch sequence, everything. He was over that. But he gave you just enough of offense that you couldn't take him out of the lineup, because that's his importance. His importance was that much. Now, fast forward around the league, there aren't many guys like that can do one or the other. You know what I'm saying? But they can't do both. So when you're looking at bigger picture, those guys is just not going to be like that, But like I said, when you're like the Orioles, who have Adley Rushman, who's probably the best young catcher right now in the game, that's what you can build with. You know what I'm saying? It just fit for them because your best player in your farm system happens to be a catcher. So you just kind of got to go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing about like baseball, man. So the one thing we were discussing last show is the young pitchers and their arms. How we're kind of entering an ugly phase as far as pitcher safety is concerned. So what do you think is the key to helping these young pitchers stay healthy? Because we're losing them for years on end because of Tommy John surgery and everything. But what do you think the MLB can do to kind of save these young arms, man? Because they throw so hard nowadays.
Well, there's nothing really the MLB can do because what happens is the athlete is their worst enemy. I mean, if a guy's throwing 195 plus and they know that's going to be their ticket to the big leagues, they don't want to stop and they don't want to, they're not going to tell you when they're hurt. So that's why athletes are their worst enemy because they want that big contract. So they're going to do everything they can to get that big deal. What happens is now, for instance, like the Yankees, they signed Carlos Rendon. He hasn't been able to pitch with them all year. All the wear and tear he's had on his arm, but now he got the big money. Now he's like, okay, I signed a contract on the dotted line. Yeah, I need to have surgery or I need to get healthy. But that's how it is with everybody. That's how football players, every professional athlete. So there's really nothing you can do. And when the kids are in high school, they want a college scholarship. And then when they get to college, they want a big league contract. So it's going to be hard for, teams and schools to tell a kid, oh yeah, you can't go, because he's gonna tell you I feel fine, whether or not he feels fine or not. So it's almost like the athlete to, I guess, put their body on pause, and you can't rely on the owners or the coaches or any of that to put that athlete on pause unless they see something in their face or they're grimacing or they see like they can't find the strike zone or something's wrong with their mechanics. Because until they see that, the kid ain't gonna tell you, and the big leaguer's not going to tell you, or the guy that's going for the opportunity to be in the big leagues, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely makes sense. Definitely. Like I said, the athlete can be their worst enemy. And these young guys, they throw so hard and so much as youngsters. Like I was surprised how many travel teams they have and how many perfect game tournaments they are. Like, these kids throw so much, like young. And so when they top out at 100, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you can't rile that in. You know what I'm saying? That's because that's kind of what's striking these hitters out. Is that flamethrower. You know what I'm saying? It's very few guys that can win with command like a Greg Maddux. You know what I'm saying? And really, really strike guys out and really confuse them. Like if I think if your fastball isn't topping 95 at least, I don't think your career is going to be as good because that's just how it works, that high fastball. So yeah, most definitely, man. What do you think, D? What do you think? You think these pitchers, we just kind of go with the flow a little bit?
I mean, I kind of agree with what Donovan said. It's, it's nothing really that the coach can do, the owner can do. It's up to the athlete. It's up to the athlete how they want to use their arm. If you want to be a fireball, you're gonna be a fireball. If you just want to be, go with the flow, you're gonna be a go with the flow. It's really up to you how you wanna do it.
Yeah.
It's the same way with it's the same way like with basketball. You either hey, I want to be a 3-point shooter, or I want to be up there, dunking the ball. But this is up to you how you want to use your body. It's your choice. Like, a coach can't tell you, be a fireball. Can't go to the fireball and be like, I want you to be a smooth thrower. That's he want to be a fireball. He gonna be that fireball. So
Most definitely, man. Like
it's
you said.
it's his yay or nay. Because at the end of the day, if he get hurt, he the one that's got to go through the surgery and all the rehab.
Yeah,
So it's kind
and
of like,
rehab. Yep.
yeah,
Most definitely.
it's his yay and nay. That's how it go.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I agree, man. Like I said, you gotta kind of walk a fine line between I want to win games and player safety. And when you're talking owner, GM, manager, you know what I'm saying, that winning games is more important than safety sometimes. So that's how it goes. So, uh, we're gonna switch topic. I love baseball, but you're a Florida guy, so I have to ask, how do you feel about the Miami Dolphins right now?
I mean, I feel great. I mean, they have all these weapons, and I'm waiting now for the next few days when Dalvin Cook decides, I want to stay home and keep this home cooking thing going on and wear that number 4 in the aqua and orange. But that backfield they have right now, Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr., you can't get, every good team has a good 1-2 punch. Well, the Miami Dolphins have a 1-2-3 punch, and then you add Devon Chain that they drafted from Texas A&M. So they'll have a stable of running backs, which most teams will not have. And then now you talk about the wide receiver group they'll possess with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And I think the Dolphins' success will be predicated on Tua Tagovailoa's health. If Tua can stay healthy and stay out of concussion protocol, the Miami Dolphins will be a force to be reckoned with, period. Point blank. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it's just a matter of Tua's health. And I think that'll be a good team because right now the Dolphins are good on the offensive side of the ball. They're great on the defensive side of the ball, but it's all predicated on Tua Tagovailoa's health. If Tua can stay healthy, the Dolphins will be in business, and we'll see big things from that team, guaranteed.
Most definitely, I agree. I agree, man. Like I said, I'm a Bama guy, so having Tua there and Jalen Waddle, I love it. I love it, man. I love it. And last season was definitely rough for my guy Tua. So I definitely want to wish him some good health this year because I think they're one of the most exciting teams, man. I don't remember a team being as exciting except our St. Louis Rams, greatest show on turf, like offensively having all those weapons, or like the '90s Vikings with Chris Carter and Randall Cunningham and a young Randy Moss, and Robert I want to say Robert Harris back there, and like those exciting teams don't come very often, man. But they also don't win often either because sometimes they're one-sided. They don't have a good offense and a good defense. But I really want them to win because this is a fast team, man. A-Chain's fast, Waddle's fast, Tyreek's fast, Dalvin Cook's fast. Like they got a really fast team, man. And I think speed wins nowadays. So yeah, so definitely. Yeah, what do you think,
Yeah,
D?
I agree with
You
that one.
like that speed, man?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm more speed guy. Yeah,
Yeah, man. I'm excited about
but I'm also if I had a football team, yeah, I would want speed, but also, I still want that firearm on my team. Also, the deep thrower. Just
True,
that.
true, true. I mean, Tua may not have like the biggest arm, man, but accuracy is his thing. Like if he can, if he has time and he's gonna throw it, and it's gonna be he's gonna be catchable passes. You know what I'm saying? So like, and don't get it twisted, man. He can still throw it like 40 yards, like 40, 50 yards
Yeah.
downfield. Like he still throw it. Like, I don't know why they acting like he has to have this Brett Favre kind of arm. Like, he doesn't have to have that to win. You know? Like,
Right.
it's gonna be so much space between the defender and Tyreek Hill that you'll have time to underthrow him. You know? Moving forward in football, man. So we had a scare. We had a scare last year with Darvin Hamlin, I think his name. And I wanted to get your thoughts on player safety, man. Like, I don't think that the game can be safe. I don't think football is gonna be a sport that's safe, you know. I think I think you're gonna have collisions that are gonna be, violent, no matter which
So
way you slice it. You know, like they're big, fast guys. So
Right.
even with that, you're gonna have that. You know. So what do you think about player safety?
Once you sign up for football, it's a violent sport, period. There's no ifs, ands, or way about it. I mean, it's called the National Football League. It's not called the National, fairy tale league. These kids are coming from, underprivileged communities, and they figured that out. So they're going to try to. What do you think Alabama comes down here and grabs these kids? You guys run into that same situation, these small towns in Georgia. These guys know that that's their ticket out. So they live in the weight room. They train. Look, I just got home. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm getting my son ready so we can go to the batting cage right now for him to work. He's 9 years old. So it starts at a young. If you want something, you got to go out and get it. So by working hard, you're just going to get bigger, faster, and stronger. So that now comes with the injury aspect, because when you get hit by these bigger, stronger, faster guys, it's going to hurt a lot more. It's just unfortunate that that's the nature of the beast when it comes to professional football. For that matter, all kind of football, Pop Warner football, it doesn't matter. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. That's why some people do not play football. Who wants? I weigh 100, I don't know, 65 pounds soaking wet with a bus in my pocket. You think I want a guy that weighs 225 linebacker light me up? No. So I chose to play baseball. I don't want that. I love the game of football, and I played a lot of sandlot football, but my parents just wouldn't let me do that. I was not a big guy. So you got to know, now you have positions like cornerback, and guys don't have to be big. So you lay the hat on guys, and you don't have to worry about getting hit. So you got to know the position for you. But the injuries are going to come with the game no matter what.
Definitely agree, man. Like I said, I love the way they restructured the helmets, to make them, at least a little bit safer. But I'm kind of an old school kind of guy, and I just love defense. I love hitting, and that's my thing. So as far as like player safety, man, you're just gonna have to kind of just go with it. Like I agree. Like if Tua, knock on wood, if he was to have another concussion, I would be more worried about him in a sense, because that's your head, you know what I'm saying? So, once you gotta start thinking long term after that, right? But if we're talking like knees and ankles, you know what I'm saying, I'm not as concerned about that, because those are things that can be fixed and you can still live a good quality of life at the end of the day. But when you start talking about head injuries, I think that should be taken serious, and players should. But like we said, players are going to be their worst enemy. But there needs to be somebody to say, "Hey, you having too many head injuries, man. You're gonna have to sit down." You know what I'm saying? But I love, like, they have a neurologist on the sidelines now at every game, so they're taking measures, and I appreciate that. So what you think? What do you think, D?
I mean, I was the same way. My mom wanted me to play football, but I mean, I was a short, skinny guy, less than 150 pounds. And, my mom wanted me to play football. I begged her all weekend. I was like, I'm this short, skinny guy. If I get hit by somebody that's, a good 160, I'm still going to get hurt. And, I'm going to get hurt. So, that's why, I chose the same way. I chose to play baseball, I was like, I'd rather, slam into the wall and my shoulder go out trying to catch the ball in the outfield versus some big, 200-pound dude squish me when I'm trying to catch a football. I was like, I'd rather get, hurt by the wall instead of some big, strong, big, strong guy. But I mean, at the same time, you got to know what you're getting into before you get into it. So you got to know that, there is a possibility, I can't get smushed by two big old dudes trying to catch a ball. So it's kind of like you got to know what you get into before you get into it. So you got to know that the injury possibility is there. So it's like you can't just like jump over it. It's there.
Understood, man. Understood. So, as we close the show, I have to ask, what got you into sportscasting? I have to ask, what got you into that?
Well, I've always loved sports ever since I was a kid. I collected baseball cards and all that kind of good stuff. Um, but believe it or not, I was doing like little league games for like candy, doing like the announcements, now coming up to bat, such and such. But I never thought it would manifest into what I'm doing now. So when I was in the military, I'm watching this movie called Cool Runnings. About the Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah.
My parents are Jamaican, so I'm watching this film and I'm like, oh my God, these are the worst accents I've ever heard, because they only used one guy that was really Jamaican in the show, which was the not Leon. It was only one actor that was actually Jamaican. Everybody else was fake. Leon wasn't Jamaican, and none of the other guys were Jamaican. And that's what motivated me to want to be on TV. So I was like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. So while I was in the military, I started taking correspondence courses on mass communications. And one thing led to another. When I got out, then I decided to go to college and major in theater and mass communications and focus more on the mass comm side of it, because acting wasn't a big thing here in South Florida at the time. New York and LA was the place to be, and I knew I couldn't get there. So that's how it all manifested. And now I'm a sportscaster for over 20 years. I've been on air for over 20 years. So yeah, it was definitely, I started in 2002 in a small town called San Angelo, Texas. And then from there, San Angelo to Lufkin to Dallas to Miami. So yeah, that's the matriculation of my career. That's how it all started.
All right. Hey, good, man. Hey, awesome, man. Like I said, I love seeing my fellow soldiers doing good things out here, man. I love it, man. It's like it brings joy, just seeing people, get out and just have a plan. Hello, Sports Talk with Cam and D fans. Due to some technical difficulty, our usual ending is changing. So I want to give a big shout out to Donovan Campbell. He gave us some fresh, new perspectives on various topics today, and we appreciate his time. And we want to thank our subscribers, our followers, and even people who just watch our show just because we love the support and we appreciate you. Thank you.